another video that I am recording today, Monday, August 17th, 2026. I wanted to make it quick, never quick, just making haste slowly. I wanted to refer gang-stalking for myself as a point, as an aspect in the spiritual warfare that all of us face, everyone's in it. Everyone plays their part in the program, or everyone's doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing according to God's will. However, recently, with so much daily activity or shenanigans that come up, I have emotions that arise, whether it's me driving in the car on my way to work or on my way back home, doing errands, whether I'm at work. Sometimes my emotions arise, not the good kinds either, but certain events trigger me in a day where it's other people. Well, eventually it's just myself, right? Triggering myself. However, lately I'm realizing with the gang stalkers, the ones that are the gang stalkers, if you know, you know. I won't get into so much detail about that in this video, because at the end of the day with that's not important, because God made me realize that it's an opportunity for you to be different, right? And not even be different, but to also realize that everyone has their own process coping with this life and all their own actions and consequences, which most people don't even realize. If you realize the consequences to your own actions, then you're on a good path, because you're on the path to changing. And spiritual warfare, the aspect of gang stalking that it comes with, I think those people that trigger you in a day are really there to just teach you something about yourself, or something that you lacked when you were growing up, or I sure lacked a lot of things when I grew up. And eventually, over time, as you grow up, you decide to just on your own decision to lack it, and you forget that it was ultimately your decision. And yes, it's not fair. A lot of people have been traumatized. However, I think the only outcome to that is really seeking God, because you start getting a lot of realizations. He gives you a lot of realizations of why your life had to go the way it went. And this earth is really it's a pilgrimage of suffering. I think that's the best way to describe it. And I do my best to not speak in metaphors anymore. At least I should say to people. Talking to myself on a camera, it shouldn't really matter metaphors, because those who have ears, let them hear. And you'll understand it if you're meant to, by God's will. However, in public, I do my best not to talk like that anymore, or at least say it in a way where I could explain myself if I have to. I say all of that because I'm not trying to lose my train of thought. But yeah, I think ultimately, when you find your emotions arising, it's a moment to be different. Instead of seeing it negatively, see it as a positive experience. And with the way the world is going, it's going to get crazy because of the curse of, since Genesis, which I realized the other day, that it is only going to get worse. I was realizing that with the fact that for so many decades, even before we were born, they've been trying to have, I don't want to call it a movement, but they've been trying to maintain that mentality that there's like a futuristic outcome, like the Jeffersons, or just some futuristic society, like, that's welcoming to everyone, because that's it's the reason why they put it in the movies for themselves. It's not for our own world, what we see in ourselves. they make those kinds of movies for you to believe that you believe in that kind of world, when you truly, if you understood, it's nothing to strive for, it's nothing to work for, that kind of world, that futuristic world that those movies and those novels promoted. And I say all of that because society, these people that don't have access to themselves or won't allow themselves to have access to themselves, it's going to get worse, in the sense that, you know, in spiritual warfare. So this video is a reminder to myself that every time your emotions arise in a day, whatever moment, realize that you're not the center of the world. It's not worth it, and realize that there is always an opportunity when you look at it in a positive manner. And it's like my friend and I discussed, it's truly the energy you bring to wherever you go, and that's the most important thing. So please don't forget that. Thank you guys for watching, if you guys did watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed Monday.